Alright, so today we're going to do the battery relocation and finally put in the half-size battery so I can fit it in the bins and I can service the battery and everything without having to take apart all the bins and the side panels, and a little bit lighter is a plus. So we're going to get rid of the group size 34 AGM, perfectly good battery. It's only coming out to be replaced by an Optima, and Optima only makes the 51R in a yellow top, but I know most people prefer the red top for Optimas, but we'll see how this one goes. So we're gonna put that one in. It's a good size, good amount smaller or narrower than the other one. And I picked up, I don't know, it was like 3 feet of this flat stock, whatever. It's just what I found at the hardware store that was decently thick and wasn't folding in my hands. So I'm gonna use that. And I know a lot of people post their battery locations and all that, but they don't really ever show you how to mount them. I'm assuming a lot of people just drill like 2 holes in here and put J hooks for the battery. But I was looking around and I see a little, what's it called? A welded in factory nut right there. And on this side, I think this is for the ABS sensor, passes through the floor into the rear caliper hub section, and this is for the sunroof, like water drain hose. You can see on that side it has the same thing on this side, the hose and then the ABS pass through right there. So on this side, I just right now put in a bolt with a big washer and siliconed it in place, and it's held up there right now with some duct tape and the silicone. So the bore, I already drilled one out, but I'm waiting for it to dry. So I put 2 holes in this, and it's gonna be connected between those two. Alright, so that looks like the first cut I'm gonna make on the bins. Just set the battery in there somewhat. I just centered it off the top, like where I want it to be, and looked straight down and made marks on both sides. You probably can't see anything on this side, but yeah, just centered it pretty much where I want it to be. So just gonna cut out the bottom section, and you can see on this side the previous owner, that's how they went ham. They just fucking took everything out. Whatever, that's like tool storage now, I guess. Alright, so I cut this side, and for the most part that works, but I'm gonna have to clearance this side now a little bit, so just follow that cut. Tiny little bit of clearance I need for the hold down, what's it called, the J hooks or the threaded rod. But other than that, that's okay. The other issue was over here. When I actually set the bins in here, the battery wants to sit like right about there. This is gonna be the bottom portion where the threaded rod goes into, and it's supposed to be bolted. From these 2 pieces, this one and this one are supposed to be bolted together. And in this configuration that I first came up with or wanted to go with, It's gonna be like really hard to put a bolt here and then threaded rod over there with the battery wanting to be that far back in the seat or bin location. So I have to move it from this one to over there. So this has a lot better bolt down location right here when I drill a hole through these two brackets. And I just have to add this one in this place right here, because that's the bolt that I was gonna use in the beginning, but the angle is too crazy. So there's nothing on this side, it's just empty. So something like that, bolt there, whatever, fucking another bolt there, drill this out, and that should center out the battery pretty good where it needs to go. Alright, so this part's gonna be super quick and dirty because luckily enough for me, I'm off today on a Friday, and there so happens to be a track day about an hour away from me at some little go-kart track. So I thought that'd be a cool place to, I don't know, check this thing out, feel it out a little bit. It's a pretty slow track, but still fun. So I'm gonna explain what I've been doing on the battery location before I head out. So yeah, there's the bracket. There's no holes. I didn't make any holes whatsoever into the body. There's the 10 or the 6mm bolt in there, and that factory hole. I ended up using some threaded rod. I just painted it black for whatever reason, and I put the heat shrink tubing or electrical heat shrink tubing on this thing, just the battery isn't getting like all scratched up when you put it down in there. I used this hole's on every FD, but these are used for the JDM rear seats, there and there, and that's my ground point. I forgot to show you guys the little crimping thing I got, but yeah, it's some little hydraulic crimper that you can get on eBay for like, I don't know, 30 bucks. So yeah, this is, I forgot what, 2 gauge. There's that. It's a little bit long, but whatever. And the positive lead right there. This one goes to the front along there. You can see it right here, right here. Let's go to that side. So there it is, zip tied right here. Let's see if this comes off. Oh, now I broke it. There's a little like relief right there, like fits right there. Yeah, I'm fucking this car up just trying to show you guys what I'm doing. And right underneath the floor right here, this little hump piece, it's like a piece like about that on the floor where the seat bolts onto. Underneath that is where the battery cable is going. There's a small little tunnel right there. There's a battery wire. Goes under there. And yeah, it comes out right here, but yeah, it's just, yeah, this piece. It goes in there. Still inside of the car. And it goes up there. And you guys remember when I was still putting this whole car together, I took out my my airbag stuff. So there was already an empty right there. That's where the ABS used to pass through to the outside of the car. So yeah, you can see the wire right there behind all of the fuse block. Out there, it comes out like right next to the fender. And I'm still putting this side of the track wheels on, so I'll lift it up right now and I'll show you where it goes. But yeah, see, that's the wire and that's the grommet that was already there. So I'll show you that right now. I hope I haven't been covering the mic with my hand, but I forgot to say I cut up a, what's it called? An old floor mat that was laying around in the garage to cover up these bolts and this fancy shit. There. So the battery isn't really sitting on the bolts too much. And I don't know, if anything does happen to spill or, you know, battery wires fall and anything like weird like that might happen, hopefully it doesn't short out and stuff like that. But yeah, let me get this thing put back in. I ended up making like another 5 different cuts, but I'll show you the, what's it called, circuit breaker. I'll show you better when it's in the car, but I used some rib nuts. Just be careful not to do it like this one and squeeze them too tight, because they will pull through the plastic. That one's like halfway in. You want it more like this one. But yeah, they're strong enough in there, and I'll show you when this is in the car. Alright, so there is the bin inside. Everything's solid. Everything is sitting. Oh, you can't see the bolts. Oh, there it is. Bottomed out. All the tabs are where they're supposed to go. All the way around. In the studs. And yeah, this is where I ended up mounting the circuit breaker. These are the ones that are bolted into the riv nuts mounted to the bins. There's my positive battery cable, and this is after the circuit breaker, and so is the fuel pump power. This is the one that goes to the front of the car, the one that went along all this to the engine bay. And yeah, ground wire, it's right there. This old seatbelt bolt behind here. And yep, let me put the battery in, show you how it ended up looking. All right, you guys ready? There it is. Everything's in. I just gotta get the little rubber boots that go over these, because yeah, any track requires that pretty much. So go to like the local auto parts store and pick them up. But yeah, everything is made from threaded rod, that flat stock, and I don't know, that's about it in here at least. It's pretty dope. Gone. So let me go show you guys the front. All right, so before I show you guys the front, whoopsie, I forgot already. No power. Put this shit on. I was gonna say, oh yeah, that's also a good reason why I put this thing right here, so I can, for any reason, just fucking flip the switch. Watch. Take this shit out. I can't reach right now with my camera, but You hear that? I just made contact, and if anything happens, right there is open. You can hear it again. Watch. Closed. So now I should have fucking some sort of sound. So yeah, move it to where I got some space between this car so I can do the wheels and tires on the left side, and I'll show you guys the front where the wires go up to. Probably sounds like shit on the camera. Fire extinguisher, always. I don't know if I should even fucking turn it off right now. Nah, I'm not going to. No reason right now. Alright, so before I put the wheels back on, now's a good time to show you where it is. Ow. So there's the old, what the fuck is it called again? Airbag harness. I think this one goes out, or it's supposed to go out to the crash sensors on the front of the car. But yeah, there's the battery cable right here. I wrapped it in some Tessa tape, and I put some vacuum hose that I cut in half so it doesn't really, the wire doesn't get too close to this if, you know, anything happens. It doesn't get pierced too easy. So I originally wanted to go up here, from here up to there, and pass it through here, down, and then into there, but that was a lot of work. And yeah, most people use this one right here, this rubber grommet that's for nothing to pass this, but I didn't want to make an extra hole. I already had one right there. So yeah, this is right underneath the fuck is it called? My ignition coils. It's right here. Comes out down there, and you can see the fuck is it called? The cable right here with all the tape still on it. Damn, that sucks. But yeah, there it is right here. Right there. Zip tied to, I think it's the charge harness bracket. I don't know, it's for one of those plastic clips. But there it is, there it is, there it is. And it comes into this fuse box. This is where the battery used to have, like, the positive battery terminal clamp. Used to be like right up here, and the post of the battery would be in a little piece right here, the actual clamp. But all that got unbolted or cut off. I forgot what it was already. And yeah, just fucking hook up your new battery cable up to there. It's pretty fucking janky. But I know somebody makes a bracket you can hook up to this and bolt it down to the frame somewhere down there. So yeah. But right now I'm doing a lot of cleanup. Like all of these fuses and shit for aftermarket stuff is just hanging out. So before I take off today, I gotta clean all that shit up. But yeah, maybe I'll do like a little driving video on the way there. Alright, so this is after the track day and all that stuff, but I gotta do a little recap of what happened to explain, because I didn't do an outro or talk at all in the racing video. This thing was like misfiring or having some weird ignition issues, like around, I'd say around six grand. Once it got into boost and in the higher RPMs, it was like stuttering. So I was having to short shift in between, like what, second and third is all I was getting into. But other than that, it was a lot of fun. Took it out, didn't really have any issues besides that, which I don't know, is kind of expected because this thing never really got done being tuned. When I did have it on the dyno, it had issues, so I'm gonna have to do that before I don't know, do any more hard driving on it. Tires held up fine. You can still see the little hairs or whatever you would call on the edges. So yeah, didn't drive all that hard on it. It's kind of a slow paced track, and I only got to do one session, which is about an hour in the daylight, and I went ahead and did one more session after that, which was this following hour, just because, I don't know, I was having fun and it was doing okay besides that misfire issue. But yeah, nothing too crazy happened. Not much brake dust. It's a little bit. Nothing too bad. But yeah, I also ran into Nader from Built to Apex out there. So yeah, I had talked to him for a little bit, and I actually ordered a part from him like 2 weeks before I ran into him at this track day. So let's say there's going to be some upgrades to this a lot sooner than anticipated. So that's about it. Time to put it back into the daily driver mode and put those back in there, or those tires back on. But yeah, overall, good experience. Definitely gotta do it again at a faster track. So yeah, check it out.